งกันเลยดิก็เหลือง
That's Arizona. Being my favorite approach.
สะพานข้ามแม่น้ำโคโลราโดใต้ฮูเวอร์แดมเพิ่งเปิดเมื่อวันที่ 14 ตุลาคม 2010โดยตั้งชื่อตามนักกีฬากับอีกคนหนึ่งที่ชื่อไมค์โอคาลาแกนซึ่งนักกีฬาฟุตบอลคนนี้แพททิลแมนซึ่งอาสาสมัครไปรบในสงครามแปลกแดดแล้วถูกกระสุนฝ่ายเดียวกันเสียชีวิตเมื่อปี 2004
Feel free to stay and take pictures with us. The next presentation is located across the street at the plaza.
See the work there. Daddy.
He what? Yeah, he would have gone there. He would have gone there. They were $30. Yeah. I'm all. Yeah. I don't know how to feel stuff. I love do-all. Where was what? No, did you? I'm not trying to be offended.
I see Mount Charleston and Henderson.
Where's Mount Charleston?
Mount Charleston is, so look right at Hoover Dam
Yeah.
and then look up from it and you'll see just to the
Mount
left
Charleston. Okay.
and Las Vegas. It's just a teeny little part
Yeah.
of a big, big world.
Well, right here before your eyes is a map of the Colorado River. Colorado River is over 1,400 miles long. If you look on the right side of the map, here's your Colorado Rockies. Colorado River is based on snowmelt in the spring of the year, especially in April and May. There are some springs in the Colorado Rockies providing some water. Colorado River goes all the way over to the left side of the map. That's your Imperial Valley of Southern California. It's a desert. It was flooded for millions of years before Hoover Dam was built. After being flooded for a long time, the land was fertile. Had a lot of nutrients on top of the soil. Of course, that's nature's fertilizer. We wanted to grow oranges in a desert, wanted to grow broccoli in a desert to make this possible. That's why we built Hoover Dam here, making a lake of water. Then a flow of water down the Colorado River to Southern California every day provided water to grow oranges in a desert, wanted to grow broccoli in a desert. As time went on, California became a diversified economy. Even with a diversified economy, you need water for homes, businesses, and life. Well, now we're going to show you this show. Thank you, everybody, today for visiting Hoover Dam. There your kids, please.
Welcome to Hoover Dam, one of the Bureau of Reclamation's world-famous multi-purpose structures which help put the great rivers of the West to work. Before you is a topographical model showing portions of 7 western states that share the waters of the Colorado River and its tributaries. In the foreground is the Colorado River. Rising in the snow-capped Rocky Mountains, the river flows 1,400 miles through mountains and desert toward the Gulf of California. In the background lie the Great Mojave Desert and Death Valley. And in the distance are the metropolitan centers of Southern California as well as the Pacific Ocean. A single sweep of the eye takes in the upper and lower Colorado River basins, which include portions of Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, and California. 1/12 of the continental United States is drained by this river system. The Colorado, for centuries, was one of the world's wildest rivers. Melting snow in the mountains each spring swelled the river's flow, transforming it into a raging torrent. Time and again, the low, flat valleys in Arizona and Southern California were flooded. Then, as the river receded, millions of tons of topsoil were deposited on the land, creating fertile deltas as rich as anywhere on Earth. Early settlers, recognizing the fertility of the soil, irrigated the valleys directly from the river. They tried to protect their lands from floods by constructing levees, but levees were feeble safeguards, and during major floods, the valleys were at the mercy of the uncontrolled river. The worst flood disaster occurred in 1905, when the river broke through the headworks of the Alamo Canal and poured into the Imperial Valley in Southern California to form the Salton Sea. 16 months of tedious labor were required to restore the river to its former channel. But the threat of flood was not the only problem posed by the unruly river. After the springtime floods and runoffs, the river's flow generally dwindled, and at times its lower tributaries dried up completely. Then crops withered and died, and all living things were faced with water shortage. After years of unsuccessfully trying to cope with the unpredictable river, it became apparent that the only solution to the problem was to construct a dam to eliminate the cycles of flood and drought in the lower basin. The two main objectives were, first, to control floods to protect areas along the river, and second, to store water to irrigate the fertile desert soils during periods of drought. To meet these objectives, reclamation engineers proposed the Boulder Canyon project, which included Hoover Dam and a large conveyance canal entirely within the boundaries of the United States, that is, an all-American canal, to deliver irrigation water to the Imperial Valley. By controlling floods and storing water, the dam would regulate the river's flow year-round, furnishing silt-free water to farms, homes, and factories. A hydroelectric plant at the dam to generate power for the Southwest was included in the plan. With the scope of the problem defined, reclamation engineers spent years studying and planning the project. Congress in 1928 approved the Boulder Canyon Project Act, which included Hoover Dam, the infrastructure needed to build the dam, and the All-American Canal. Construction of Hoover Dam began in 1931. The structure was dedicated in 1935. Revenues from the sale of power have paid back to the federal treasury with interest the entire cost of the project. The reservoir created by Hoover Dam is named Lake Mead. Measured by volume, it is the largest man-made reservoir in the United States and can hold and store 2 years' normal flow of the Colorado River. Managed by the National Park Service, Lake Mead National Recreation Area has become one of the nation's most popular playgrounds. More than 9 million persons visit the area each year to swim, fish, go boating, camp, and enjoy other outdoor sports. Regulation of Lake Mead is based on anticipated runoff from the mountain regions and on water requirements downstream. Normally, only enough water to meet downstream demands is released through the power plant turbines. The Boulder Canyon project has led to the full utilization of water available to the lower Colorado River basin. Many features of the Bureau of Reclamation's Colorado River Storage Project are operated to assist upper basin states in using their shares of Colorado River water. The huge upper basin dams hold back high runoff to even out the river flows and thereby permit increased beneficial use of water in the upper basin states. These dams include Glen Canyon Dam in Arizona on the Colorado River, 370 miles above Hoover Dam. Flaming Gorge Dam on the Green River in Utah, near the Wyoming border. Navajo Dam on the San Juan River in New Mexico. And Blue Mesa, Morrow Point, and Crystal Dams on the Gunnison River in Colorado. Authorized participating projects provide water for nearly 3 million acres of land in Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. They also add almost 1.4 million kilowatts to the upper basin's 1.8 million kilowatts of hydroelectric power capacity. Hoover Dam's control of the Colorado River also made the construction of other dams downstream possible. 67 miles below Hoover Dam is Davis Dam, an earth and rock-filled structure. Construction of this reclamation project was required by a treaty with Mexico to regulate the delivery of water to that country. The Davis power plant generates 1.2 billion kilowatt hours of energy annually for Arizona, Nevada, and Southern California. Lake Mojave above Davis Dam is part of the Lake Mead National Recreation Area. Like Lake Mead, it offers opportunities for boating, fishing, and other water sports. Parker Dam, 88 miles below Davis Dam, was constructed by the Bureau of Reclamation with funds advanced by the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. Lake Havasu, behind Parker Dam, provides a forebay and desilting basin for the district's Colorado River Aqueduct, which delivers Colorado River water to Los Angeles and San Diego metropolitan areas. The dam also generates nearly 500 million kilowatt hours of electricity annually, much of which is used for pumping water along the aqueduct through the mountains to the coast. Water for the Central Arizona project is also pumped out of Lake Havasu. This water flows southeastward via aqueduct to cities, farms, and industries in the Phoenix and Tucson areas. 15 miles below Parker Dam is Headgate Rock Dam. Built by the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Headgate Rock Dam diverts water to lands of the Colorado River Indian Reservation near the town of Parker, Arizona. Palo Verde Diversion Dam, 43 miles below Headgate Rock Dam, diverts water to lands of the Palo Verde Valley, the oldest irrigation development on the Colorado River. The valley was settled in the late 1800s by Thomas H. Blythe, for whom the city of Blythe, California was named. 88 miles below the Palo Verde Diversion Dam is Senator Wash Dam and Regulating Reservoir, an off-stream pump storage development on the California side of the Colorado River. It is designed to save water and improve deliveries to water users in the United States and Mexico. 2 miles downstream from Senator Wash Dam are Imperial Dam and the All-American Canal desilting works. These installations accomplished the diversion of the Colorado River that the early settlers had struggled so valiantly but unsuccessfully to do. On the east side of Imperial Dam, water is diverted through the Gila Canal to the Gila Project in Arizona. On the west side, water is diverted through the All-American Canal to the Imperial and Coachella Valleys in California. Part of the All-American Canal diversion is for the Yuma Project in Arizona and California. The desilting works remove river silt that would otherwise fill up and clog the canals and irrigation ditches. 8 hydroelectric plants along the All-American Canal generate electric energy for use in the irrigated areas. In this simulated night scene, you see some of the areas supplied with power from Hoover Dam. More than 1/2 of the electric energy generated in the Hoover power plant is marketed in Los Angeles and Southern California coastal areas. And so today, Hoover Dam stands like a mighty sentinel in Black Canyon, keeping guard over downstream regions. Lying calmly above the dam are the waters of Lake Mead, waters that once carried the threat of devastation, but which are now harnessed to serve mankind. Crossing mountains and deserts are columns of transmission line towers carrying 4 billion kilowatt hours of electric energy annually throughout the Southwest. Downstream, far from the dam, the river flows gently, offering its waters to 1.8 million acres of land and more than 25 million persons for domestic and industrial uses. Sparkling reservoirs and controlled river flows provide hundreds of acres of fish and wildlife habitat and recreational venues. These enduring benefits are the true significance of the Boulder Canyon Project, which has transformed the Colorado River into a mighty resource, thereby enhancing the lives of all inhabitants of the great Southwest.
Construction of a dam, any dam, was only a dream. But in 1921, Secretary of Commerce Herbert Hoover joined representatives from the 7 states to seek out a solution to equal water rights. Hoover proposed to simply divide the area into a lower and upper basin and leave further negotiations to the states within those basins. This compromise paved the way for the Boulder Canyon Project to be constructed. And in 1931, the structure that would one day bear Hoover's name began with an explosion. Not only of black powder and dynamite, but one of human tenacity and ingenuity. It was the largest single contract awarded to that time by the federal government. It took the combined resources of 6 companies, forged into a single contracting entity, to undertake the mammoth project. But before the first shovel of earth could be removed, the Colorado River had to be diverted from its timeless path. The key was to cut 2 tunnels through the canyon walls on each side of the river, each 56 feet in diameter and approximately 4,000 feet long. The 4 tunnels took 2 years to complete. With the tunnels open and cofferdams in place, the Colorado River had no choice but to leave its riverbed and flow through the man-made corridors. With the river diverted, steam shovels dug through as much as 135 feet of silt, mud, and gravel to reach bedrock. And there, Hoover Dam began as a simple square wooden form filled with concrete, followed by more than 3 million cubic yards of concrete over the next 2 years. Add the adjoining structures, and enough concrete was placed to build a 4-foot wide sidewalk around the Earth's equator. Setting concrete was predicted to take more than 100 years to cool, but engineers fashioned 1-inch steel pipe inside each concrete block before it was poured. A refrigeration plant so massive it could produce a 1,000-ton iceberg every day continuously pumped cold water through the pipes, cooling the concrete so construction was never interrupted. This innovative idea helped the entire structure be completed in just 5 years. 2 years ahead of schedule. Hoover Dam was built with 5 million barrels of cement, 18 million pounds of structural steel, 21 million pounds of gates and valves, and 840 miles of pipe. The scale of some of the equipment was beyond the capacity of American highways and railroads. The pipes that would carry water from the reservoir to the generators were so large they could not be shipped, so a manufacturing plant was created to build them at the site. An infrastructure of highways, railroad tracks, and power lines had to be created to move men and materials from outlying areas to the dam site and to supply electricity for construction. An entire town was needed to house the workers who were pouring in from all over America in the midst of the Great Depression. The project averaged 3,500 workers a day, working 3 shifts, 7 days a week with only 2 days off a year. The pay scale started at $4 a day, a good wage in the midst of the Great Depression sweeping America. Amid the country's economic uncertainty, the workers in this canyon gave new life to the nation's spirit, as they gave new life to the desert Southwest.
This is an engineering victory of the first order. Another great achievement of American resourcefulness, American skill, and American determination. And that is why I have the right once more to congratulate you who have builded Boulder Dam, and on behalf of the nation to say to you, well done.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt dedicated Boulder Dam on September 30th, 1935. In 1947, Congress officially named it Hoover Dam. Some call it the most prodigious engineering construction feat since the Great Pyramids of Egypt. When a U.S. Senate committee endorsed construction of Hoover Dam in 1928, its report said, "A mighty river, now a source of destruction, is to be curbed and put to work in the interests of society." And so it was. Hoover Dam brought the desert flood control, a reliable supply of water, electrical power, and more. Behind a 726-foot-tall concrete face lies Lake Mead, America's largest man-made lake. Born out of the collected waters of the Colorado River, it could cover the entire state of Pennsylvania to the depth of 1 foot. But held behind Hoover Dam, it is a life-giving source for communities throughout the Southwest. On its way to meet downstream needs, thousands of gallons of water per second flow from Lake Mead through the dam's 17 giant turbines, producing clean, non-polluting hydroelectric power. Hoover Dam produces almost 4 billion kilowatt hours of electricity each year, enough to serve the needs of over 1 million people. The sale of this power has repaid the entire cost of constructing Hoover Dam and continues to fund the yearly operating and maintenance costs as well. Hoover Dam helped ensure a future for the communities that settled along the river and the low, flat valleys of Southern California and Southwest Arizona. In Las Vegas, Phoenix, Los Angeles, and other smaller cities, Colorado River water delivered from Lake Mead helps meet the needs of millions of people a year. Hoover Dam and other dams along the Colorado River contain the floodwaters spawned each spring by melting snows, and from their reservoirs flows an assured and reliable water supply for water users throughout the basin. Combined with the warm climate and rich soils of the lower Colorado River Basin, water from Lake Mead has created some of the most productive farmland in the country. Farms in Arizona, Southern California, and Mexico, irrigated by these controlled flows, produce over $1 billion worth of vegetables and fruits throughout the year for dinner tables across the nation. Clear reservoirs and controlled river stretches resulting from construction of Hoover and other dams have created year-round recreational opportunities at the National Park Service's Lake Mead Recreation Area and other locations along the Colorado River. Hoover Dam first helped create and now helps sustain the high quality of life enjoyed by millions of people in the desert Southwest. Hoover Dam and its other projects throughout the West, the Bureau of Reclamation is focused on efficient, effective, environmentally sensitive water resources management to help ensure our limited water supplies can meet the needs of all who depend on them. Wherever the system delivers water, life flourishes. Fisherman and conservationist, believed, as did many others, in a vision where man could affect nature for the good. With every touch of its coarse concrete skin, and each sparkle that